Echuca, Victoria, August 1894. Still no moonlight. She couldn't wait any longer. She had to leave. Now. Hushed and foreboding, the dead of night could have been full of doom. This particular night, however, it was her friend, even if she couldn't see her hand in front of her face. There'd be no better time than right now to leave him. Albie had said he was going downriver tonight. He would be gone for many weeks, perhaps months, if he stayed away. Tess knew her husband was unpredictable. Albie intended to be on the paddle steamer Rodney. The PS Victor, heading in the opposite direction, upriver, would sail tonight too. She had to be on it. She couldn't stay a moment longer. God forbid if, for some reason, he returned before she had left. He might very well carry out another of his threats. The broken bone above her wrist, now healed, twinged sometimes. A reminder. She couldn't risk it. Leave. Run. Her nerves jangled. How did it get to this? How indeed. She should have run before she was made to marry Albie. Or after her parents had died. Or when C.C. Seymour first reached out to her, offering sanctuary. It hadn't always been like this. She'd rubbed along beside Albie for years, desolate in her marriage, but resigned, until his growing bad moods had woken her. Oh, she knew she had her prickly moments, but only that. Prickly. She'd been a normal person, laughing, happy and confident, who, like everyone else, could feel a spike of temper at times. But she had stopped being allowed to express herself in any way, and over the years, she'd learned to dampen that spike, to keep the mood agreeable between them. Soon, there wasn't much left of who she'd been at all. But now, she just couldn't hide herself anymore, couldn't hide her dislike of Albie anymore. Still she hesitated at the door. Why? Freedom was just out there. Last year, walking away from the doctor's rooms, her arm properly plastered and bandaged, Tess felt a note slip into her hand when C.C. Seymour's niece, the auburn-haired Miss Linley Seymour, had passed by. "Oh, I'm so glad to have caught you. Do come to tea, Mrs. Slattery," she'd said loudly and cheerfully, for the benefit of any onlookers. Then she'd whispered, "Come to this address, with your bag packed, sooner the better. He will never find you, never hurt you again." She had smiled pleasantly, then crossed the road. Tess realised then she couldn't hide it any longer. People knew. Why did I wait so long to leave? For years, she'd thought she could live with Albie, put up with a life without love. She thought she should live with it like so many others did, live through it. So she'd stayed. She clasped her hands on her elbows, rocked a little, stared into the night. And then there was her pride. Pride goeth before a fall. And she'd made her bed. Only some of the cliched, irritating things her now dear departed mother had sniped. They echoed around her still. Tess's first love, Harry Goodwin, had left town in a hurry, left her distraught, weeping and wailing at the loss. At that time, in all her 15 years, she had thought of no one else. And when she'd heard that he'd talked of engagement to her, she was so happy. She waited breathlessly for the formal proposal. Everyone waited for the formal proposal. And then Harry took off. The town was agog. Tess was crippled by embarrassment.